Hey ladies, I hope you are having a marvelous day. So the topic that we're going to chat with about today is being married and separated but living in the same home. I have been separated from my spouse since 2012. And in 2004, so from 2012 and 2014, we lived in the same home. In 2014, I left and I moved to Virginia to be on my own. I had a house fire and we ended up back in the same home. During that time, there were some, I can say, there were some talks of reconciliation, and unfortunately, that didn't happen. But we are still living in the same home, and we currently live together in Hawaii. And I'm sharing this with you because there are a lot of couples who actually are separated and live in the same home, but it's so taboo. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. There's a lot of shame associated with it. And I just want to let you know that you're not alone. There's no shame, and possibly give some tips to help you handle the situation so that you can make what's the best decision for yourself. When we get married, we assume we're going to be with that person for the rest of our lives, all the love, all the things. Sometimes the people that we get with change, and they change before we have an opportunity to assess the situation or really figure out what's going on. So we find ourselves married to a person that we're just like, this isn't going to work out. Sometimes we try to go to counseling and try to, make things happen, and things still don't work out. But we also put ourselves in situations where financially, we don't have the opportunity to just up and go. And it's not one of those, he makes more money than me, or she makes more money than. Sometimes the combined finances is what allows you guys to stay within your comfort. Or maybe you have assets or things that need to be divided up, and it's just a little messy, and there's just so many reasons why people are still in the same home, and it's no one else's business or judge to say why someone should or should not leave for that situation. For me, I stayed long for my children. With him being in the military, I want, knowing that they were going to be far away and there's different experiences. I wanted my kids to experience a lot of things. At the end of the day, where I had to learn is to focus on myself and learn about what I want to learn about. Now, this part I'm going to leave up to you and how you feel, and I'm not going to put this out like to go, girl, when you get separated, y'all go find you a man and blah. No, I'm not going to put that out there because there's a lot of people that still have that moral attachment to their husband, and they feel, hey, I'm married, so that doesn't mean that I'm single. I live a single life even though I'm married, so I'm not telling someone else that they need to. So please understand, this is not what I'm talking about, going out and doing you. What I'm talking about is finding out who you are. A lot of times when we get married, at least in my situation, I sort of became someone that I thought my husband wanted me to be. I did things in order to make him happy and to just make it better. And at the end of the day, I lost who I was. So right now, I am learning about who I am, and I'm going out and doing things to open my eyes and to try new things and to see and peek. You go to museums, you go to just put yourself in different atmospheres so that you can see, hey, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. I won't be trying that again. Oh, I'm going to add this to my new walk. Going out and finding your faith. A lot of times when we get married, our faith is sometimes attached to the person we're with, and maybe we didn't believe that, or maybe it was something that we want more for ourselves. Our spiritual walk. I know my spiritual walk has become stronger, and I've been more focused, and just surrounding myself with more people that I just understand. And the reason I'm telling you to do this is because this will allow you to make a sound decision if maybe your marriage is worth working on. Like maybe you needed to grow up. Maybe there was something about you that needed to change. Maybe there was something about that person that needed their space and they needed the same time to grow up and to change. So what you do during this time is you focus, on yourself. Now, I know when I speak with people, a lot of time they're like, girl, I don't know how you do it. I don't, I wouldn't, blah, blah, blah. And I had to learn to let go of any anger. And I had to learn to let go of any resentment or that whole I wasted all my life with you type thing. I had to let that stuff go. And I had to just ask myself, what exactly do I want out of this situation? My kid's father, he's my roommate. That's about it. It's past the part of husband. In my situation, and we're just not even friends because he's just not my person. But other people may actually, some people may find out that their husband is better off as a friend than they are a lover and a provider and things like that. And you can work towards that. That's why it's very important to find out who you are so that you know where that person fits into your life. I want to share making sure that you understand ground rules and understand what your comfort level is. I know I have friends who are separated in the same home and they date and they allow their other person to come into the home. That's not an option in my home. This is my house, and the only vagina, the adult vagina that's going to be in this house is mine, or the one that came out of me, or the one I came out of. So you have to set those rules and be okay and with comforting with what goes through you. If you have children, make sure you set up, the responsibility of one a person and the other. It's going to require a conversation. Some of these conversations are not the easiest. It's going to require you to actually tap into yourself and be okay with what you may hear on the other side. When it comes to even like chores around the house or the responsibility or the financial part between the person. Also giving yourself a deadline about when you're going to get out of the situation. Like these things, like sometimes, if you need time to gather yourself, get your things together, give yourself a deadline, but also don't speed it up because of other people. I had to learn that the hard way when someone's like, girl, I would da 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 da. And all it did was create more mental grief for myself. So make sure your actions and the things that you're doing is for you. Like you're not allowing someone else's how they would handle it to make your decision on how you're handling your situation. Also, don't fake the funk. Like if you and your spouse is just not working out, there's no reason for you to make it seem like it is working out. But at the same time, there's no reason for you to bring attention to that it's not working out if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason for you to go to extreme and be like, this is my boo, blah, 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 knowing damn well while you're at home, it's a miserable situation because the only person that's going to be hurting is yourself. And there's no reason for you to put yourself in that. And then on the other end, there's no reason for you to make it seem like, it's a shit bag, blah, 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 at the same time. Now, there's a difference between allowing yourself to express your situation and sharing how you're feeling and how you're dealing with things and stuff like that. That's on you. But just make sure that you're handling this your way. Like I said, don't feel ashamed. There's many of people that are in a marriage and the love has gone. And instead of them focusing on what they need to focus on to allow it to work for them or for the truth to actually happen, they continue to lie about it. And all it does is just create grieving on the inside. Make sure your friends and family actually know what's going on, or even people around you, because if you are dating, if you're dating and your husband's dating or whoever you're married to is dating and that person sees someone out, you don't want to become gossip. Like that's the part. Like, you don't want to become gossip. Girl, I saw blah blah blah. Just own it. It's okay. Like, be like, yeah, I know that's his girlfriend, and your point. Because once you stop it at the bud and you get it, at that level, you won't be putting yourself where you're caught off guard and feeling like you're not in shock. I know a lot of people are like totally against living this way, but at the end of the day, it's about making sure your mind is where it needs to be. That if you have children, that they're taken care of. If you are able to be in the home and you guys are not killing each other with knives or fighting and things like that, then there's actually nothing wrong with the situation. For me, it's better to know where you both stand than being alone and laying in bed with someone and feeling empty and away from them. I have my own room. He has his own room. The kids have, it's different. We've talked to our children. That's another thing. Make sure you talk to your kids. Like, don't lie to your kids. Explain to them the situation. Mom and dad are no longer together. However, we want to be there for you guys. So this is where we're at. And so, like, they have time with their dad that they go do things, and they have times that we do with us. A rule. We spend holidays and birthdays together as if we would have lived in two different homes anyway. So if he lived in Texas and I lived in Arizona, we still would come together for birthdays. We still would come together for holidays, because that is what we want for our children. So those are when we come together during the same thing. We do gift exchange from the kids. How it works is we go to the kids and we say, hey, what do you want to buy your mom? And the kids go, okay, what do you want to buy your dad? So we don't purchase things for each other. We still do the things for the kids to make sure the kids are involved and stuff like that. So I really hope that, by me sharing this has helped someone understand that they're not alone. And as I continue to get my thoughts and things together, I will continue to share tips and continue to share things that have helped me. Make sure you journal, keep a journal in. It's huge, because some things are at the tip of our tongue from emotion, and it's not really meant to have the conversation with the other person, because it just creates issues. But I'll come back to that. Again, like I said, I really hope that this is helping somebody who's living in the same home with someone and the dynamic has changed and they've been feeling ashamed and they're not exactly sure what that next step is. The next step is making sure you're focusing on yourself and getting yourself aligned with who you want to be. All right, this has been long enough. Make sure you comment below. Let me know if this has helped you. Subscribe, turn that bell on for when I upload one. And as always, if there's any type of topic you want to talk about or anything you want me to share, please put that in the comments. And if I know something about it, I'll comment on it, or I can research and give my opinion on it. All right, have a great one.